So in this video, I'm going to be going through a very simple ad framework that we used to do £320,000 in January alone. If you don't know who I am, I've been in dropshipping for just over 1 year, and within the last 9 or 10 months, we've done £2 million in total sales with an aim to do 5 to 10 million this year. In this video, I'm going to be making it very short, very simple. We've been looking over our ad account for the past few months, trying to figure out how do we make more top spending ads, how do we find out how to make more winning creatives, and we found that the winning ads that we do have all follow this very specific framework. Has every single section from hook, highlighting pain point, providing solution, and then letting them visualize their dream outcome. Whenever we done this within ads, it managed to get a top spend and had a 2.5 ROAS plus, and that's how we were able to scale from maybe 50 to 100k months all the way up to 320k months, and with the plan to expand into new markets and hopefully by the end of this year do a £1 million month. That is the goal for this store. We'll go straight into it. Hook is crucial, but why? A lot of people obviously know that the hook is important because it's the first 2 to 3 seconds that will hook them in and hopefully make them continue watching the video. But the way that I like to think about it is we need to call out our exact customer within the hook. Don't make the hooks like crazy visual stuff, like crazy audio hooks. Make it simple, have a voiceover, showing your product, calling out your customer with a voiceover and text on the screen hook, because the first 3 seconds make or break the ad. You either get a hook that brings anyone in, you're trying to stop anyone on the feed, or you make it very specific. For example, tradesman. This will change how you work. It's a very specific hook that calls out the exact customer that we want to sell to, in this example anyway. And that's what you always want to do. You want to call out the customer you want to sell to the most, or the angle or concept that you're going to be trying in that ad. Because then you're going to have people who are willing to buy or willing to try and figure out what's this ad about, what kind of problem do I have after hearing this part here. Then we're going to go straight into highlighting the pain point. So we've called out the customer, we've got the person that we want to sell to watching our ad now. We now need to highlight their pain point and trigger an emotion within them. You always want to sell on emotion so you can get an impulse purchase. Why do you want an impulse purchase? Well, if you could get someone to buy there and then, it stops them going to Amazon or TikTok Shop, where they could potentially get the product much cheaper and get next day delivery, which is not what we want. We want them to buy from us within that impulse purchase. Whilst highlighting the pain point, we also need to make them aware of the problem so they feel the need for the solution. When it comes to dropshipping products, a lot of the time people are going to be totally unaware of the product you're selling, or they might be unaware of the problem or pain point that they have. You just need to reinforce this within the ad. Try and figure out what pain points does your customer avatar have, what problems do they have, what challenges do they face, and you could do this by researching different things like Amazon reviews or even Reddit, YouTube, Facebook comment sections on your competitor. Anywhere you could figure out info about your product, that's where you're going to find out what their problems, challenges and pain points are, so then you could highlight them within the ad. An example of this could be, it's not related to this one here, but so here's an example here. No one likes waking up with neck pain, but what if it didn't have to be this way? That's a way to intrigue the customer to continue watching, and perfectly ties into the next section. So now we've got the hook, we've called out the customer, we've then highlighted their pain point, created that emotion, created that intrigue to make them continue watching the video. We're then just going to provide the solution. This is where you're going to introduce your product, you're going to show it in action, different features, different benefits, try and create an image within their mind so that when they're watching the ad, so they can visualize themselves using the product, how it's helped their life, how it's made it easier. And yeah, that's what you always want to do. You want to create visions in their mind through emotion so that then they want to purchase themselves. And last but not least, we want to visualize their dream outcome. Kind of what I said before, creating an image in their mind. We want to make them think of how their life is going to look after using your product. Create a vision, make it seem low effort, so give them their dream outcome with the lowest amount of effort possible, and how are they going to feel whilst using your product or after using their product. You never ever want to sell on the features, you always want to sell on the results and the feeling that they're going to have whilst using or after using your product. Then we always just finish out on our ads with a bit of social proof, showing others using the product. So if it was a personal review style, you would have something like, I also got one for my mum because she was also suffering with X problem and she absolutely loves it. That's a way of creating social proof if you don't have content of like lots of other people using your product. And then we just go into the offer. Hard CTA would be today, get 50% off plus free shipping, or you could do a soft CTA like I said before. I got one for my friend as well, could not recommend enough. So you could go with either of the two of these, you could test both, and that's pretty much it. In summary, we want to have a hook that calls out the customer that you want to sell to, ideally, or the customer that buys most based on the data that you have through your Facebook, your comment section, and Reddit forums, Amazon reviews. You want to call out them, then you want to highlight a pain point that triggers an emotion, makes them aware of the problem that they have and they need to solve, and then you just provide them the solution, which is obviously going to be your product. Introduce it, show it in action, mention a few features or benefits, how they're going to feel while using, what kind of results they're going to get after using the product, create an image in their mind, visualize their dream outcome, how will their life look after using your product, create a vision, make it seem low effort, and how are they going to feel after using it essentially. As I said before, sell the result, not the features. Then social proof, we either want to use a personal review style or a mashup of UGC content, people using the product, and then we just go into the offer where you could do a hard CTA or a soft CTA, such as today, get 50% off plus free shipping, or a soft CTA, which is, I got one for my friend as well, could not recommend enough. And that is a framework that we always follow for all of our ads. It works extremely well, very, very simple, and gets us a lot of spend on new ads that we put out. We give briefs and scripts to our editor using this exact framework as well. He's starting to implement them and he's getting better results every single week. Hopefully you found this interesting and useful. If you want any further information on this framework or you have any questions, please leave them below.